Hello, everybody. I'd like to take this opportunity, this video, to divulge something that I have not really spoken publicly about, maybe ever. But it is I thought that now is probably a good time, as any, to bring up something very personal, very painful in a lot of ways. Many years ago, I discovered that I suffer from a disease, and it is a disease which there is no cure that I am aware of, but it's a serious one. It is the disease of completism. I have been suffering from it for years, and it's sometimes in the way of things. I can't just buy one thing. I sometimes have to buy all things. And it's not a compulsive spending thing. It's just I don't want to go and miss out on something. For example, I'll give you a perfectly good example. On this week, I am going to be talking to singer, guitarist, songwriter Bob Mould, formerly of the band Husker Du. Now, back in the 80s, they were the shit, man. They were loud, they were kick-ass, they were all things that you love about a very loud hardcore band, moving into, slightly more mainstream stuff as the years went on. But anyway, I bought their stuff early on, and then they broke up. And I thought, okay, well, I've got just about everything. Maybe I could go through my life without having to worry about having to buy everything else I've ever done. And then Bob Mould went solo and released 15 records on his own. Now, I have not bought all 15 records yet, but I'm getting to that. Let me just go through what I have to kind of illustrate the kind of sickness I'm talking about. So I have this CD, Zen Arcade, okay, which is terrific. It's one of the all-time great classics. But then I bought that just a couple of years after buying it on vinyl. And I didn't have a turntable for a while, so the only way I could listen to it was to get the CD of it. I had the same problem with their album, Flip Your Wig. It's another good album. Not as good as Zen Arcade, but still pretty good. But then when I couldn't find the turntable or buy a turntable, I got the CD of Flip Your Wig. And the same thing kind of happened, later on. I mean, I bought, New Day Rising and Candy Apple Gray. And then I did buy their final album, this one, the Warehouse, Songs and Stories, and that's really good. But again, I had to buy the CD too. Yeah, you had to buy the CD. And then, like I said, Bob went solo, and I got his first solo record, Workbook, which is a beautiful record, but then I also needed the CD too, and that was a problem. And then he released this one, Black Sheets of Rain, which is good. And then he got involved in another band, Sugar, in the 90s, and they had this album, and then they had this album, and I don't know why this happened, but at some point I got like 2 copies of this, and I don't know why, and I don't know why I needed 2 copies, but one, I think, fell into my hands, and then I had 2 copies of that. And then that band broke up, and then Bob continued to go solo, so then I bought this one, which is fantastic. It's the Hubcap album from 96, and then he had another couple of good run of records, Beauty and Ruin, and then Silver Age, and he's got a brand new one that I'm getting delivered on Tuesday. And then I talked to Bob, and we went through a very long, lengthy discussion about a 24 CD box set that he's releasing in October. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of CDs, and it completes pretty much everything of his that I don't have, which is actually a substantial amount of stuff. And it's, again, 24 CDs, and if I acted quickly enough, I could get the whole box set signed by Bob Mould himself. So I thought, well, this is I've got to have that. And it was only $134. And I may not be able to pay for my car or cable for a few weeks, but that's okay. It's worth a sacrifice. But this is what I mean by completism, and it's not just Bob Mould and Husker Du. I got the same problem with David Bowie and Elvis Costello and the Beatles and XTC and what else is there? Oh yeah, there's a shitload of more bands just like that. It just can't not buy everything. It's just I can't not dive deep into it. I mean, and I love the bands that make one album and never make another one again. That to me, that's thank you. You are doing me a favor. You are helping me to put my kids through college. Bob Mould is actually getting in the way of that, and no fault of his own. You know, he doesn't know what he's doing there for me financially, but I think we all kind of understand what this is all about. So that 24 CD box set will be in my hands in just a matter of weeks, and at which point I will look at it and marvel at it and say, oh man, I think I've got everything now. I mean, like the whole thing is complete. In fact, I think I have some things that weren't even available up until the moment it arrived. So that's what I mean by completism, and I hope someday that there's a cure for this incurable condition.